Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here, and we're going to be bringing you guys another game from the World Cup of Pokemon. This time around, we have the pharoah, who is on Team Greece, as you can see here perhaps, and also Kitooth. His form name has a lot of letters that I can't really pronounce together, but he's on Team China. And these guys are in the middle of a tight series. Both of them advanced to the first round of the World Cup qualifiers, and now they're on to the second round. And this is for the second round, for that matter. The game was played earlier today, I believe, and pharoah is using an interesting team. It has Dragapult, Ferrothorn, Rotom-Heat, Vandabuzz, Aegislash, and Fable. It looks like a pretty solid, balanced team with dual glow score that always synergize well together, breaking through the same things, and kind of just forcing progress in the long run. It also has some great longevity with Clefable and Mandibuzz on board, and Ferrothorn, of course, potentially set up hazards. Kitooth, another team, we're going to call him Kit, although again, his Smogon name is a bit confusing to me, so I'm not going to try and butcher that. I'm just going to say Kit because the PS name. Kit's team has Shuckle, Togekiss, Dracovish, Crawdon, Dragapult, and Zeraora. It looks like a variant of the standard Webs team. It has Crawdon over Dracovish, which is interesting. It has Crawdon and Dracovish. Oh boy. So they're trying to break for each other. That makes a lot of sense. And in addition to that, it has two fast Pokemon. Usually they pick up one of Zeraora or Dragapult just for revenge killing purposes. Having something quicker than, say, Rotom-Heat, for example, is always nice. But now it has two and Knockout Jetter, so that could come in handy here. However, his only Ghost Resist in this matchup is a Crawdon, which is not much of a resist, so that could come in handy for pharoah, especially since he has a reliable Defogger, which can live a hit from pretty much anything besides Choice Banded Dracovish on his team. Even Zeraora lives a hit from a fault. So if the Shuckle is disposed of early and quickly, then I think this could favor pharoah, but he definitely has to look carefully around the plethora of strong attackers that Kit has in his team. Alright, let's get into the game now. It's probably going to be a quick one because we see Sticky Webs here, and those teams don't look most terrible. We're going to see Aegislash leading the Togekiss. That's smart lead Aegislash there, as predicting the Shuckle, and Togekiss doesn't get any kill in one hit. Aegislash does very little, so he gets a 76% Spec Shadow Ball off into the Dracovish, which means it's 2-hit KO'd by... Oh, wow! So it's actually a Helmet Ferrothorn there. It's a great setup to start the game for pharoah, as he dies to the combination of Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet, making it a 6-5 game and preserving this Ferrothorn to come in and potentially get another hit off against the Zeraora or Crawdon, or at least be nice fodder at the right time and get rocks up potentially. Anyway, Togekiss is going to come in here now to try and revenge kill this. We're going to see the Rotom-Heat to try and counter that on a Nasty Plot. And that's a really premature Nasty Plot for Kit there, as this is going to outrun and 2-hit Togekiss. It's also going to get Para and fully Para. Wow, that's really lucky for pharoah there, but I can't help but think he had a big advantage regardless at this point. Unfortunately for Kit, Zeraora is not going to be able to really muscle past the Rotom, especially with Life Orb Plasma Fist being the best he could do for only 32%. And Toxic is going to put it in potential overheat range. And now, on that aforementioned overheat, the Togekiss can be foddered off. It probably was a roll to kill it, but he got that. That's great. And at -2, the Crawdon's going to come in and try and check it. And he goes for a not predict the pharoah. That's great. Going to put it in a 4-5 position, but I definitely think pharoah's ahead still. He's really suffocated the Shuckle from coming in now. And the Dragapult isn't going to be much friendlier, as it's going to dish out potentially a lot of damage. However, he goes for a U-turn, and the red card brings in the Mandibuzz, which is not ideal for pharoah. However, he can still go to Aegislash on the Sticky Web, and now fire off a Specs boosted Flash Cannon, which might actually... Oh, he goes Shadow Ball? I understand. And now... Oh, it might be Spell Tag. Okay, this is Spell Tag. That makes some sense. Dragon Darts is not going to take out this. I'm not sure why he went for it instead of Fire Blast, but that's going to be a dead Dragapult. And yeah, now it looks like this game is pretty much over, so pharoah is just going to roll all over him, unless this Life Orb poisoned Zeraora is going to be able to take him out. I don't think so. Yeah, seeing as this game was pretty short, we're actually going to make this a double feature. We're also going to bring the Ace-11 versus Separation game, but yeah, the Clefable is going to be able to tank a Life Orb Plasma Fist. It's still doing 70%, and with a Protect after a Moonblast and Poison, it's going to be able to win the 1v1 against Zeraora, and then Crawdon is not going to be able to finish off all 4 Pokemon remaining on pharoah's team, unfortunately. He's going to be able to take out the Clefable with a Crop Hammer with Life Orb. That leaves him at 52%, which is easily in range for Dragapult. You can just U-turn, it's going to be quicker. And as you see, with the critical, it takes it out. But even if it didn't take it out, Life Orb would have taken it out, and it would have been a 2 or 3-0 victory for pharoah. So yeah, well played there by pharoah, but we're going to bring you guys one more game. The game between Ace-11 and Separation. This also happened earlier today, and it was part of the same series. Just want to check what time we're at now. Yeah, that was only a 5-minute game, so we can keep going for another game for sure. It's this little double feature. This time around, Ace-11 using another team with Diggersby, which is a very underrated Pokemon in my opinion. It's threatening to the entire metagame. He also has a very nice supporting cast for it, standard, kind of bulky core with Toxapex, Clefable, and a Powdon, Extra Drill, potentially to abuse Sand, give speed control, and also check opposing Clefable, and finally a Hydreigon to finish things out. Could be Scarf, or could be a Breaker. On this team, I think Nasty Plot's a little more common, but it really could go either way. So we're going to have to wait and see. Separation, on the other hand, the Chinese player, as Ace-11's on Team Greek. Really strong player himself. Both these guys are pretty proven in my eyes compared to most others qualifiers, so definitely a game I was looking forward to. Has a cool team with Salazzle, in conjunction with probably Hex Dragapult. It's a really nice core there, in my opinion. Something that we've seen before. Also, Ferrothorn, Clefable, Hydreigon, and Excadrill. So looking at the matchup, I'm thinking that Salazzle does really well here for separation. I think that's going to be hard for Ace-11 to contain, especially with both Dragon types in conjunction with Constant Pressure with Excadrill, likely being able to overwhelm Clefable. However, if Ace-11 can get a lot of his Diggersby and Hydreigon of his own, especially if it's a modest Hydreigon, which I don't think it is, it's probably timid, so he's probably going to do some chip on Clefable with like Knock or Scald from Toxapex, then those two, Diggersby and Hydreigon, potentially break, but a lot is dependent on sets and plays. It could go either way, but I'd say the matchup slightly favors separation at this point. And once we find out more sets, we'll know even more. I haven't actually watched this game, by the way. I was asleep when this happened, so this is my first time seeing it. We're going to see Ferrothorn lead off here, and he's going to go to Clefable as Ace-11 left to lead with Hydreigon, and that, given the U-turn, is going to be Scarf Hydreigon, which makes sense. Probably says a lot about other sets. It's going to be knockoff Clefable as well, so he's going to knock off the leftovers on a teleport, which left to extra will come in. I'd assume that Hippowdon just comes in to keep that in check, and that is indeed the case. Is it going to be a toxic extra though? He goes for Rocks. Okay, so probably not toxic with Rocks, and I assume this invites Hippowdon to simply get Roxy up, and he does that. Ferrothorn's actually a little awkward to switch into. He's probably going to have to go with Ferrothorn, and that's going to let up Spikes, which means that drills can be pressed to spin. Another knockoff there from Ace-11 and his Clefable into the opposing Clefable. And now the drill comes in a double switch here. Perhaps predicting a non-knock. And yeah, it comes in on a Moonblast, so that's good. The Powdon is now going to have to come in and take Spikes damage on top of Rocks damage. Oh, he actually goes Hydreigon as a bit of a mid-ground, and that comes in on an Earthquake. That's going to do 52%, and that's fine. The health on this Hydreigon isn't a big deal. It's Roost as well. And knowing he lives Flamethrower, actually goes for another Earthquake. That's a really smart play. Oh! It's not Scarf. Okay, that's really interesting. A cool set there by Ace-11 there. I like that. I think that's a cool lure set, potentially. You could like kind of lure him into Fell Sense Security. Unfortunately, he didn't have a Fire move for Excadrill here, so he's forced to U-turn out into the Hippowdon, and he gets a Slack off to get him back to full health, but the Ferrothorn comes in again, and honestly, it looks like switching into this Ferrothorn is going to be kind of a passivity issue for Ace-11. I'm wondering how he's going to combat that. On a knockoff, he goes Clefable, and now he doubles the Excadrill on the Clefable of Separations, predicting him not wanting to take a knockoff. That makes a lot of sense. That's a great play there by Ace-11, and he's going to get the Rapid Spin off. However, he's going to take a little chip there. Thankfully, no helmet, just Barb, so leftovers can help a little bit, but Spikes are definitely going to go back up as he Toxapex for Ace-11 comes back in, which is probably going to lure in the Clefable. Oh, he's going to risk to burn. Scald comes in, and it does not in fact burn as Ace-11 gets knocked off, so that's a great turn there for separation. He's not going to risk it again, which I honestly don't think he should have risked it the first time, but it did work out, so I can't fault him there. Drill comes in here now on the Clef, and it's on a Wish, so that's going to allow him potentially for a spin or a Swords Dance, but he's going to actually double the Hydreigon on the Ferrothorn. I'm not sure about that play. It's going to maybe scam up by Flamethrower because it could kill in one hit, but yeah, a Roost there by Ace-11 is a really smart play. However, the opposing Hydreigon comes in, and that could potentially be Scarf, and it goes for U-turn. So he has a lot of speed on Separation's team between Spin Drill making it quicker, Dragapult, Salazzle both being fast Pokemon, and yeah, Salazzle, speaking of the double, comes in with the Fable. He goes for Toxic into the Pex, which is a really great play. I assume he's probably going to go sub here. Oh, he goes Overheat. Oh my god. Really great play there by Separation to call the Diggersby, I guess. Honestly, if I was Ace-11, I don't fault you for going Diggersby at all. I think you were a step behind there just because of the sequences that were provoked by Ferrothorn, and I don't really blame that on your play. And I think trying to get a step ahead there makes a ton of sense, but unfortunately Separation called him out, so it's just props to Separation for making that play. He definitely incurred a bit of risk, because taking a knockoff or a Scald wouldn't have been ideal, but with Witchcraft, you can probably recover from that. So yeah, there was a smart Overheat, and also, you don't expect Overheat on Salazzle, so Diggersby would normally live a Fire Blast or Flamethrower. So yeah, don't think you fault Ace-11 there, but I think you give credit where it's due to Separation. And that's just a great play that gets him in the lead even more so, especially with the Toxapex now being status and Ferrothorn being pretty free in this matchup, especially now that it can't be punished by the Diggersby. A follow-up Toxic there comes in on a Thunder Wave, so now the Salazzle's progress is going to be severely limited, but it did get 2 Toxics off and a kill, so I'd say it's done its fair amount. And on a U-turn, Drill comes in here. There's a smart U-turn there by Ace-11 to bring in his own Excadrill. At this point, he kind of has to force these situations as he's pretty far behind, unfortunately. Ferrothorn does, in fact, come in on a Earthquake. That's going to be a great amount of chip, 32%. That's putting a dent into the Ferrothorn, and you can live a Body Press if you so please, but he's going to elect to go to Clefable, which takes 16%. At least I assume the Drill lived Body Press. It might have been a roll. Now he doubles back to Drill. I don't know about that. If he catches opposing neutral Drill, again, you don't want to risk that, I don't think, when you're in separations position. Well, we'll wait and see. And yeah, he goes Hydreigon, and seeing as, okay, he goes Iron Head, predicting that. That's a great play there. Now, scared of the fire move, he goes to Clefable, and then he calls that out correctly. That's 22%. And it burns, which is a bit unfortunate for Hex in the long haul, but I don't think it's going to come into play here necessarily. Softball there, okay. But this is going to allow for separation either to go for Spin or Stealth Rock. I assume Stealth Rock, because spinning into the Hippowdon doesn't make too much sense. It's probably Rocky Helmet. And also, you can set up rocks in the following turn anyway. Assuming you just go Earthquake here, which would be great. It does another 24% to the Ferrothorn. Getting that low on health is important, as it's one of the main ways for Ace-11 to mount a comeback, but regardless of that, it still looks bleak. He now goes Clefable on a Leech Seed. That's smart, but leftovers are still being gained, and X-Drill can come in without much punishment, barring a double switch, and he brings it in on a knockoff. Okay, so that means that Rocks is going to do damage, and there's no real passive recovery, and he spins into the helmet here. That's also damage that's going to be there to stick, barring a Wish Pass. And he Earthquakes there into the Hippowdon, which he's going to force a Slack off. However, it does invite separation to also go to Dragapult, and Dragapult misses Wisp there on another Slack off. I think that was a bit overly ambitious, but he might have been scared of Hex into the Fable, and yeah, he was. And that's a Spell Tag Hex, which to a Kios. Yeah, really good play there by separation, and now it looks like Ace-11 is unfortunately pretty cornered, so yeah, that's unfortunate. I just think this was really well played and well prepped by separation. I don't think there was much Ace-11 could do in all honesty, and I don't even blame the team. It's just sometimes you're running into those like kind of rough fringe matchups, and yeah, the Spell Tag Hex is going to just do a number here. He goes for another Wisp here. Not sure about that. I think Hex is probably the play there, but it doesn't matter, as the follow-up Hex is going to do a whopping 59% to the Pex, and Scald's thankfully not going to burn it, as Sand Chips is down to a third health, but at this point, that's plenty. Slazzle's coming in here just as fodder. It's going to die 3 times over. But now that's going to invite in something like the Ferrothorn, which, again, the health on that was so pivotal, and this is what pivotal, and that's why separation was quite weak to Extra Drill. Besides that, Body Press is going to take out the Hydreigon with ease. That's going to invite in the Hippowdon, perhaps, but okay, just goes Drill here. But yeah, a follow Body Press is going to take that out, and the Burnt Hippowdon's not going to be able to do much. Leech Seed's going to out-heal it, and that's going to be the game. Ace-11 is going to forfeit. Yep, good games both around. So in this, we saw the Greek player, the Pharaoh, win, and the Chinese player, Separation, win. Both splitting the C2. I believe that Greece is up. Yeah, Greece is up 3-1 right now. We also saw the Os Matitos game. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be bringing you guys a Rudolph game. That happened earlier this morning. But yeah, all things considered, good games. Greece is up thus far, but it can definitely go either way. We're going to see more games tomorrow, and I might try to bring you guys some of those. But yeah, hope you guys have a nice night, and I hope you guys enjoyed this World Cup content. Peace, guys.